Alright, welcome back to another video. You're probably curious why I'm actually inside of my Amplified Let's Play world. Well, the answer is today I kind of wanted to showcase a little bit of what I'm capable of doing as well as the builds I've done over the years inside of my young hot life. So, this build behind me, I've done it entirely by hand. This took a few days to complete, and I have to say it's probably one of my favorite, probably third favorite build I've ever done. And mind you, this is all survival. It's all vanilla. It is on a multiplayer server, which I will have a link in the description. It's quite a small server, but this is the inside of the mountain. And what I wanted, so inside of this server, there's player-owned shops to where you can sell stuff. For an example, I was selling snow and ice. Apparently not anymore. Dang. But yes, the server has player-owned shops where you can set up stuff in it. Inside this shop, I was selling snow and ice, and I made a killing as well as skulk and stuff which I found rare. So, as you can tell, this mountain is hollow by design. So, I very much enjoyed it a lot making it. And so let's go back up, because this is actually, believe it or not, this was actually my storage room for the longest time. So mind the ores and the clutter. Let me go into free cam a little bit. There we go, to give you guys the feel and the look of it. So that's the base. Well, one of many bases in the server. I kind of wanted, the idea is that a gigantic icicle or snowy thing got spiked up, because as you can look around, this is all ice spikes, and I wanted a gigantic spike, and I wanted my base to be on top of it. And mind the shape, I know what it looks like. This was the first tower I ever did, and I know it looks like we all know what, but the inside I think is kind of where it shines. This is just my regular storage. It's sorted by block, as well as miscellaneous stuff. And then going up is what I love the most. So, as you can tell, there's a few necessities of life. More storage is when you look up, that's where it gets you. So, I kind of wanted the vibe of the ice was sinking in, and this whole entire area is freezing over. As you can tell by the soul lanterns and the glass panes hanging down. These, I believe, are blue stained glass panes that I wanted to look as icicles. And I really like this build. I very much enjoyed building it. And actually, as you can, actually inside of this video, I actually make the second version of this. But that's going to be something which you're going to have to wait and see. So let's go over to the next build I want to show on the server. Alright, so for this base, I know what you're thinking, it's quite small, right? And it's just a wall. Well, mind you, this is all by hand. I don't use any plugins like Litematica or anything like that. This is all entirely made by me. It's vanilla. They do have a few player-owned shops, but I personally didn't really use them. And then this is the outside. I know the outside looks horrible. I never got around to finish it. I never got around to finishing it. So let's go to free cam. So the inspiration for this build was that when I actually stepped foot inside this area, as you can tell, it's plains, and what I wanted was a snowy biome. And how this server is that you have to claim stuff, and I wanted a very big claim, but I also wanted a snowy area. So I kind of had this idea of, let me actually go back. I kind of wanted a gigantic cyclone inside the air, pretty much making this whole entire area snowy and icy, to where it pretty much manipulates the environment around it to where this one section, just this one section, was all iced over, as well as snowy, and all iced over. And I wanted this whole entire gray storm just on top. I never got around to finishing it because personal matters I don't really want to get into. And this is kind of where it leads you. This was going to be my base, but as you can tell, it's my main baby was the terraforming and the design I made by this, and mind you, this is all 100% mob proof. I believe there's a few zones that aren't, but I kind of wanted some ambient lighting with the candles and the soul lanterns and the light blades that stained glass looking like icicles, and you know, I used a combination of calcite and snow and ice. I really like it. I overall like the texture of this build. I think it looks great, and towards the top, as you can tell, it has some clay. This isn't snow, this is clay, and I kind of wanted it to be, as you go up, it kind of gets steepier and stonier, but I kind of felt like stone would be way too hard, and I kind of wanted to slightly gradient up. So this is clay, and mind you, all these little snow layers, those are natural. I had someone change the biome for me. So, and inside of the base, the inspiration was going to be just like a little hole in the mountain. I kind of wanted to have my base centered around it and pretty much leave this area entirely intact. But this baby right here, this was my pride and joy on the server. I call it the Smeltonator 5000. Ah! It's this thing. It contained lava, and as you can tell, there's lava in it. But this is a pump. Where does the pump lead? I can show you. All right, so the pump leads. Just ignore that spider. Somehow it got in. So down here, this was actually my favorite part of this build, was the small detail. So I kind of wanted a subterranean cavern. As you can tell, there's magma blocks, smoke. I believe that's diorite slabs and stone in there. And then as you go deeper, it gets warm. And I wanted to add some slight life to this and kind of look like there was life underneath it, so that there was like subterranean, I guess, warmth. That's and yeah, there is icicles, there's glowing moss, there's vines, there's lush vines, and then I wanted to add some podzol as well as some moss to the build. And so this area has way more life to it. There is drip leaves, vines, leaves, flowers, mushrooms, water, leaves, and this was actually my favorite part to actually make. As you can tell, there's a lot of, I believe that's green or lime terracotta, clay, calcite, clay, moss, slime blocks, which I think complements the moss exponentially well. There's some water features, mushrooms, gigantic mushrooms. I once had honeybees in here, but the server is kind of weird when it comes to entities. I just wanted to have a little scenery going on, and there's a little oasis. There's grass everywhere, and mind you, these are just, I don't want to break it, but this is just a campfire underneath a moss layer. So, and then it gets hotter. So this, I had a very fun time making this. A lot of creativity came out of this, as well as I took a lot of inspiration from Decked Out 2. But inside this build, there is red netherwort, bricks, red netherwort, I guess mushroom stem leaves, whatever they're called, blackstone, magma blocks, soul sand, and obsidian. So I kind of wanted and the inspiration was, and also tough as well as smooth basalt. I kind of wanted the inspiration of this build to kind of be, it's very hot, and this is kind of where it gets the lava from for the generator. I kind of wanted to tell a story as well as use the nature for the power. So going down, we have a lot more lava, we have a lot more ores, and you can tell that whatever was here, they were mining stuff and they were smelting it. So going up, I just think it gives you like keep inventories on. It kind of gives you the idea of this whole entire ecosystem is connected somehow, and it kind of serves a purpose. But I'll do another flyby because I want you guys to see the massiveness of this build. This build overall, it took me probably a few months. Mind you, this is all by hand. This is all made by me. The resources I get were 100% farmed by me, and I can even show you guys the place I got. So this was one of many. This was one of many resource areas, as you can tell. The ice is gone and a lot of the snow is gone. This was number 3 of the ones that I used, and it's horrible. But I just wanted to show you guys on the server because I very much enjoyed it. Sadly enough, I don't play on the server anymore just due to conflicts with people. Again, I like the server a lot. I have nothing against it. It's a very fun server. It's just me, I kind of took a step back. But yeah, let's continue on the showcase. Alright, so the next one I believe will be my creative world, which I use for a lot of server ideas, which you guys will most likely notice. So, going back, I have a sample of one. This was very early concept of the rooms, which was the cavern. So I kind of wanted this vibe to be the life room, this to be the hot room, and this as well to be the hot room. This was for front of the server. I was kind of giving them ideas on walls. This was a van I had on a old server I was on. Ignore that. But this right here, this was my starter base on a server, which sadly enough I don't have anything on that server, but this was a build that I made. So I kind of wanted a wizard base as well as use magic and create lore around it. So this was most likely one of my favorite builds. I know I keep saying that, but I love the color of the build. Mind you, in the server we had tough blocks. This was tough right here. And yeah, it's just the inside of it wasn't done because I just wanted the frame, but the inside of the base ignore that. The inside of the base was done, and I wish I had pictures. I don't. I left the server again due to personal reasons. The admin and me, we didn't really see eye to eye, and it's a long story. But as well as this, these two were connected. So as you can tell, this looks like an altar, right? And it looks as if someone was doing something to someone to activate a portal. So this inspiration was kind of have that storytelling of someone was using a soul of something to power a portal. So as you can tell, there is blue warped wood, there's nether red root, blackstone, crimson, a loose chain right there, crying obsidian, and it's just, this build is most likely one of my favorite nether portal designs just because I like the way it looks, but I also like the vibe and storytelling I had with it. Because these two were connected, and this was a rough draft of one of the walls which I didn't like. I went with this design just because I thought it looked more clean and less chaotic than that. But mind you, I took numerous screenshots of this build and I recreated it on my multiplayer world that I was in. It was an LP, and no, I'm not going to give any information with them. But I do believe I have a slight video, which I will share now. Pretty cool, right? And yeah, that was made by me. As you can tell, you can kind of see a little bit of this in there, but you kind of can't. You can mainly see that as well as me using a few launch pads that I made. So, and the next one is actually a video from an old world that I used to play on, which I will be playing now. And the inspiration for that build was just to have a very like haunted or I don't know, cursed mineshaft. And actually how I actually did the build is as the redstone, I believe I used a hopper clock which had a few stacks inside of it, which turned off the lights, and as well as the minecart I used a small system with powered rails to pretty much go around and around. It's kind of slow in the video. You kind of can see the minecart, but the minecart, it goes around the entrance, and so it makes a loop inside of the actual tunnel, and then it comes out. But it's how I did the lights. I just used a regular just Etho hopper clock, which had a few zacks inside of it that made it on and off. Kind of have that flickering vibe of the light bulbs. I thought it was really cool. I will most likely actually reuse the design somehow inside of the amplified LP that I've been doing. And so I actually have one more video on that same world, which I will be showing now. Alright, so I figured I would kind of voice this over because the clip is kind of long. So, the idea for this build was to have my house on a hill that overlooked a amazing valley, which I loved the area of the build. And right around here I have a small pond, which I thought was cool. I like ponds and I like nature and I like the general vibes which you get from this. This was my storage room, which I never actually took any pictures of it. That was done. There was a really cool redstone project that I was trying to do. I was trying to have like this secret gateway from my house to there with like dolphins, grace, and etc. But I never finished it. This was the top of the mountain. As you can tell, there's a small farm which I showcase over, if I turn around, over there. That's just my pig farm where I, have fun times with pigs for food. I really like the small lean-to. It's very simple, but I like it. It's just, this was probably day one, and that was the house. I really do very much enjoy the light fixtures that I did. There's actually a daylight sensor that turns them on whenever the sun sets. That helps just mob-proof this area, and believe it or not, this area was actually mob-proof, I believe. As I go up, you can see more of the nature, and that's the house. This house, I kind of wanted the general feel of nature's kind of taking it over, and it's been there for a bit. And going in, it kind of has that cozy aesthetic, which I love. I love cozy builds like this. They don't have a lot of function, but they have a lot of form, and I just like it. There's a lot of things I've discovered from the world that I put around. Little knickknacks, I think, make it look more homey. That's the outside. The other side of the outside. But overall, I really like this build a lot. It's very small. I like small builds. They don't take a lot of time. And this is the outside of it. There's a lot of moss and leaves and vines and a lot of nature that has taken stuff over. Another small pond that I did. And then going over here is actually my nether portal. So the design was inspired by what comes out of the portal. And when you actually walk into the portal, you're actually landing inside of a basalt delta, and I kind of wanted that to be kind of drifting into the overworld. So anyways, that's it. That's the video. I hope you guys actually enjoyed what I make. I hope you guys do. I do take a lot of time and effort to make builds like this, but my passion in Minecraft is to terraform and is to build. I just like to get lost inside terraforming. I like creating my own stuff. Whether or not that's like making a house or making a mountain or a slope or anything like that, I enjoy it. Sadly enough, I wish I had more pictures of my builds. I don't. Just because I don't. Whenever I play Minecraft, I don't think, hey, this looks cool. Let's take a picture of this and let's put it up on the internet for everyone to see. That's not my vibe. Some people do enjoy that. I don't. Lately, I kind of started this channel to kind of express what I can make and what I do and to kind of show what I can do. But, I don't know. So far, I'm enjoying it. I can tell you guys are enjoying it because you guys like seeing me build. It's actually one of the most popular videos on this channel is actually me building. So, before I do the starter house, I kind of wanted to express the things which I've built, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. Hopefully you guys enjoy what I make as much as I do. As always, guys, thank you for watching. If you liked the video, please like it. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe and share. It will help a lot. It would help me out a bunch, and I would really appreciate it. Either way, thank you for watching. As always, guys, have a great day, great evening, great night, afternoon, or whatever it is. Be good to yourself and be good to other people. And if you're hungry, eat some food. If you're thirsty, drink some water. You know, all of the human elements that, you know, faces us. Anyways, see you guys in the next video. Bye bye!